All right, now exactly 2/3 of you are going to strongly dislike this video, probably, but it is time that we have an open mind. We have to look at data, we have to look at facts, and come to some, I think, maybe tough conclusions about the state of Titans in PvP. I know some of you hate talking about balance, but I think it is crucial to having an experience that is inviting and approachable for all people, especially in a game like Destiny where it's meant to be a play your way kind of a game, you know, bring your subclass, your build to the table and compete just like everybody else. But some of us are eating better than the rest, and that is an undeniable fact with this data that Destiny Trials report. Thank you, DTR, for publishing this data. This is really interesting stuff. But among players who are winning matches of Trials of Osiris, 2/3 of those players are Titans. That means 1 out of every 3 is either a Hunter or a Warlock who is competing at the upper level. And there is a good reason for that, and it's that Titans are kind of busted. So I want to break that down in today's video, but before we do that, we need to take a moment to thank today's sponsor. It's Raid Shadow Legends. At first, when Raid reached out with a new promotion, I was kind of expecting more of the same. A new champion giveaway, some gear to chase, and some new in-game activity of some kind. But this one was a little different, and it actually got my attention. Raid is in the middle of a weekly limited animated series that gives fans of Raid something they've been wanting for a very long time. A real connection to the characters they're playing and the world that they're fighting in. Raid fans can watch the series for free in-game with new episodes airing every Thursday through July 20th, and the series has already racked up millions of views. They only required me to watch the most recent episode for this promo, but I ended up watching every episode available in succession, and I gotta admit, they kinda crushed it. They full sent with epic animations, world building, even the score was compelling. And it was really cool to see actual in-game skills and abilities being wielded by the characters in the show. It had action, drama, moral dilemmas, even some steamy romance. And watching the episodes actually gives you free in-game rewards too. Now, speaking of in-game rewards, this isn't directly related, but make sure you claim your free blue shards from the store, because I claimed mine when I logged in, and I kid you not, I ended up getting a banger legendary champion from it. Talk about lucky. But anyways, the series is more than just a show. It has champions, activities, and in-game lore connected to the series for you to feel the full reach of this ambitious project. And if you log in 7 different days between now and July 24th, then you can get Artak, one of the 5 new champions from the show, for free. Now, if you've never played Raid before, just scan the QR code on the screen right now or use the links in the description and pinned comment to get started, and you'll get a free starter pack, which includes everything that you see right here to get you up and running immediately. So do yourself a favor, check out the animated series for yourself, and enjoy the free entertainment. All right, let's get back to Destiny. Okay, so first let's just look at the data. Okay, and I really do want you guys to keep an open mind here. I know that anytime we talk about, you know, your class, it's really easy to just put up your walls and be defensive and dismissive, and that's pretty natural. But I think we do need to be objective here if we want the health of Destiny to be the #1 priority. So, weekly trials meta for players with a win rate of 90% plus at least 25 matches played. These are the people who are playing trials, staying in trials, and winning most of their games. And we get a number of different categories here, but the one that I want to focus on right now is the subclasses. Okay, so this is usage rate, not across the entire community, although Arctitan is still way at the top in the overall community. Arctitan is like double anybody else. Any other subclasses out there. I think it was like 22% off the top of my head usage rate. So like 1 out of every 4 players is specifically Arctitan out of 15 subclasses they can choose. But among winning teams, 33.11%. So a third of all players winning most of their matches are Arctitans. I mean, let that sink in. That's astronomically high. When you have 15 subclasses to choose from, okay? 15 to choose from, and you have, you know, 5 of them are sub 1% usage rate. Like, that is so high, so high. It's nothing to sniff at, and, you know, it's not like an outlier where it's like, oh, it was just this particular map. No, it's been every single map. Arctitan has been on top, going back seasons. Okay, like it's time. Okay, I remember three seasons ago, right? I sat down and I decided, you know what, this season I want to focus on Rumble. And I want to be one of the best Rumble players. And I made it to the top 50 Rumble players globally in the world. You want to know how I did it? Some of you who watched my content that season probably know I mained Arc Titan, because it is just indisputably the best dueling subclass in the game, and it's not even close. You have a shield in front of you that you can run behind, and when that gets popped, I slide, and now I have a shield in front of me that reflects all incoming damage. And during that time, the enemy player is getting lower and lower and lower on their magazine till they've got a couple of shots left in their mag, and here I am in their face looking them in the eye, and I have a melee that can reach through their soul. I have a shoulder charge that can close the gap even further. I've got a shotgun, I've got a fusion rifle, I've got a sidearm, I've got an SMG, whatever it is. And they have literally no chance, and it's just because I played my kit. So Arc Titan on top at 33.1%, that's crazy. It is followed by Stasis Titan at 18.77%. Now, this might shock some of you, because if you don't actually live in Trials, you don't like spend a lot of time there, you're going to be like, well, I never see behemoths. Well, there's a good reason for that. It is mostly used in the 3v3 environment where you're in a pre-made fire team of 3. Because Stasis Titan is the strongest synergistic subclass in the game by a landslide. Arc Titan is a great solo thing, or if you're in a mixed team of people using different subclasses. But if you are on a team of Titans, running 3 Stasis Titans is close to unbeatable. It's close to unbeatable because of the way that Hoarfrost, and you see Cerberus +1 there as well. There's basically a way to play that subclass where all of you are throwing up ice walls that are, they're basically impenetrable, and it's a shield wall of ice, and you're breaking it, collecting the crystals, and throwing down more walls, your glacial wall grenades, your Hoarfrost barricades. You have 100% uptime on those abilities. So you and your 2 other teammates are slowly walking towards the zone behind this impenetrable shield wall. You have overshields as well. So if anybody tries to jump up over it, you're all just going to team fire them with overshields. They stand no chance, right? No shot. And there is no counter to it. You might say, well, just bust out a Wither Horde. You shoot it on the ground, they just slowly walk back. They wait for it to go away, and then they keep moving forward again. You shoot your second shot, and they just do it. They have 100% uptime. You have 2 shots, so it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I blame Clan Ice for this. I hate playing against those guys. I love that they literally full send on their thing. Like, that is their thing, and that's awesome. I hate playing against them, though, because they are nigh unbeatable. But anyways, that's why you see Stasis Titan up there. It's an extremely slow, passive way to play the game. That's why a lot of players don't do it, but they're starting to get to the point where, like, winning matters more than having fun. I'm gonna pitch in, and I'm gonna do that too. That's why you see that 18.77% usage rate there among winning teams. It's slow, it's passive, but it works. Followed up by Void Titan at 11.77%. So just to put that into perspective, 63.65% of the top players, the top 3 subclasses, 63.65% are all Titans. That's crazy. That is astronomically high, So anyways, Void Titan there, always going to be strong. Void Titan is a very strong kit because of health on demand, overshields on demand, and then obviously zone control. Bungie keeps going the way of zones being the primary way of keeping matches moving in Trials. And as long as there is a zone, Void Titans will be among the best subclasses to play. Because you can just put up your barricade with an overshield on that zone. And these zones, the way they're positioned, they're not positioned, like right next to cover. They're positioned in the open. So what then happens is the team that is pushing has to push through no man's land, through open space to get to that zone where you're posted up in a fortress behind 1 or 2 barricades, depending on how many Titans are on your team. If we're looking at the numbers, it's probably all 3 of you, if not just 2 of you. So you've got a bunch of barricades up, you've got overshields, extra health. So it's an uphill battle to get that zone back. So Void Titan always going to be among the most used. So right off the rip here, the top 3 subclasses being used, the top 3 among winning teams are all Titans, Arc, Stasis, and Void. 63.65%. We add in the other 2 Titan subclasses, and you're looking at 2/3. 2/3 of all the players winning matches are Titans. Now, I know it's hard to be objective when you main something, and looking at these numbers, That's most of you. If you're a Trials player, this is most of you guys are probably playing Titan. Now, I want you to understand something. I love playing Titan. I have a riot playing Titan. I have historically been a a big Titan supporter. You go back into Destiny 1, my sky sniping striker Titan days. And then, I've had several seasons in Destiny 2 where I mained, I did the hammer bonk builds for the longest time in PvP. And playing Solar Titan was like my thing. And then with Sunspots and the Phoenix Cradles, I mained those. I have mained the Antaeus Wards way before they were popular. They didn't change, by the way. They've been the same for years now. But it's just now starting to catch on. And now I feel a little scummy using it because everyone sees them as a meta thing. But they're still really fun to use. Listen, I love playing Titan. But we have to be honest here. Arc, Stasis, and Void are too strong. You can make a case for Stasis not, like Behemoth, not being deserving of a nerf because it takes all three of you to do. So I think that I would target specifically those synergistic things, the Whisper of Rhymes and, the way that you can spam those abilities, the uptime on that. I think that if you were to target the team-based synergistic aspect of it, that would be fine. If you did that, I would want them to buff other parts of the kit for solo players who like to play Behemoth, because I think that side of it is a little weak. And let me be clear, Solar Titan is my baby. I love playing Solar Titan, but it is terrible. It has been so nerfed into the ground, and everything else has been power crept sky high. And that's why Solar Titan is dead last. It's number 15 at 0.24%. Solar Titan needs not one, not two, but several buffs. It needs some love because it deserves to be much higher than it is. It was pretty good, and then Bungie nerfed it into oblivion for literally no reason. They nerfed the crap out of Sunspots because they knew Lorelei was coming. We don't know that for sure, but that's what we're led to assume, because we saw the nerfs on paper before they happened. We were like, what? Why are you doing it? You're going to kill Sunspots. And then when the new DLC came out and Lorelei Splendor was there, and it launched to the top of the meta, and then they had to nerf it. Basically what they did is, it looks like they knew Lorelei was going to be so dominant, so they got ahead of the game and nerfed the entire subclass based off of one exotic, then nerfed that exotic, and now we are left dead bottom because we got double nerfed. So Solar Titan needs love. If it was up to me, they would have never touched Sunspots, and Lorelei Splendor never would have come out. If it was up to me, I would say, listen, I will trade you. Take Lorelei back. I don't want it. I don't need it. You just give me my Sunspots back, all right? My Floor is Lava builds were so much fun to play with in sixes, and they stole those from us. The Sun Warrior buff, that whole cadence of make a Sunspot, stand in the Sunspot, do more damage. Like, you had to earn it, right? And it was like a plotting progression. You get a kill, run to the next Sunspot, stand in it, get a kill. As long as you were in a Sunspot and you had Sun Warrior active, you're going to make another Sunspot on kill. You run up to the next one. That's great. Like, when they do builds like that where you have to full send on something, it changes your whole play style around it. That's great. It didn't deserve to be nerfed. No one was used. I mean, it was still pretty low in terms of usage rate because most people just weren't willing to commit that hard to it. So it didn't deserve the nerf that it got. So let me be clear. While this video is about how much Titans need to be nerfed, it's specific Titans. It's not Solar. Solar needs lots of buffs, in my opinion. But the thing is, with Arc especially, it is such a low level of investment for high level play. Next to no investment. It is quite literally the definition of equip and profit. I say this as somebody who plays a lot of Arc Titan. It's not like I'm trying to pick on somebody else's main. Listen, when I play Titan right now, that's what I play, is Arc Titan, because it produces results easily, quite easily. You have to put so much more thought and effort into your gameplay if you are not a Titan right now, specifically Arc and Void and Stasis. You have to put so much more thought into how you play in order to produce results. But with Arc Titan, you don't have to think. You just go, okay? The game is going to do the work for you. You're not in melee range? Big deal. The game's going to give it to you for free. Well, for free. You just shoot somebody with a shotgun while you're aping them. It's going to rip their shields. You now have knockout. And you can rubber band back and forth. The other people trying to shoot you, they're not going to be able to hit you because you're teleporting all over the place as you're punching. And when you get that punch with that extra lunge range, now your health is regenerating. You still have that extra lunge range, so you can just turn to the next guy and teleport up to him and punch him, and then back, and then teleport back up to him and punch him, and restart that whole, health regeneration, and now you've reactivated knockout again. It's too much. It is just too much given to you for free. That really is the bottom line here. If we want the other subclasses to see usage, then I know everyone's always like, just buff the other things. Listen, power creep is a real thing, and it is a problem in Destiny right now. The answer is not always buff everything else. Let me ask you something. When you walk out on the deck and there's one nail sticking up, what makes more sense? Hammering that one nail back down, you know, and taking 10 seconds to do it? Or do you go underneath the deck and start pounding up every other nail in the deck to match the same height as the one? That's silly, right? That's silly. We have 15 subclasses, and one of them is astronomically on top. The most logical thing here is to pound it back down a little bit, or maybe even a lot of it. Listen, it has been the meta for so long now, and you can't deny it. It is a statistical fact. It is undeniable data. It has been on top for so long now. I think somebody else deserves a little time on top. Don't you? Don't you think that would be the fair and kind thing to do? I certainly think so. So yeah, and then it's also reflected there in the exotic armor. The top 4 are all Titan exotics. Peacekeepers, Hoarfrost, Antaeus Hordes, Dune Marchers. They're all Titan exotics, right? So that's kind of where we're at right now. As somebody who, I really want trials to be successful. Because listen, guys, it's all we got, okay? Development on PvP stopped a long time ago. There's not development for PvP. There's maintaining systems that already exist. You know, tweaking numbers, modifying the matchmaking system that's there, modifying the ranked system that's already there. The framework was already there. But in terms of new development, I mean, pennies on the dollar, right? So it's not like we have a lot going for us or a lot to look forward to, but we do look forward to trials coming on the weekends. And I think it's a really fair thing to say, I want that to be a more balanced experience, regardless of your subclass. Listen, I'm kind of maining Strand Warlock these days, down there at the 0.28%. And I did manage to go flawless on my Strand Warlock on PC, but it was hard. I mean, we live streamed, that was me and Hovey, and he was playing Arc Warlock. So we are down there at the 0.28 and 0.68% usage rate subclasses. And we were playing against teams that were 2 to 3 Titans all the way to the Lighthouse. We had to reset a couple times. It was hard because when you get into those lobbies against an impenetrable wall of Titans, it's nigh impossible. It really is nigh impossible. And that is reflected here very clearly in the data. Doesn't matter how good you are, the ceiling is just much higher on those subclasses. Even Frostbolt was tweeting out how he's like, listen, Titans, specifically the Behemoth Titan teams, they killed me this weekend. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do trials this weekend. It was just too bad. And at the end of the day, that's another side of it too, is that the things on top are very defensive, passive, barricade play, overshield play, hiding behind ice wall play. And it slows things down to a halt. It takes the fun out of losing. Because listen, losing can be fun. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes you have a 5-4 match that you were extremely invested in. You were having fun. It was really stimulating and engaging, but you still lose. But you walk away from that. Overall, it was kind of a fun and exciting, invigorating experience. But getting just steamrolled by passive play is not fun. And we want trials to be fun. So that's where I'm at with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please remember to be respectful and kind. Please remember I did say that Solar Titans do need lots of buffs. I would love to see them in the number 1. I don't care if we swap a Titan for a Titan and Arc Titan goes to the bottom and Solar Titan goes to the top. I'd be fine with that because I love Solar Titan. I'm a Titan lover. So I don't want to feel like I'm just bullying Titans, but I also am not burying my head in the sand and just pretending these things don't exist. This is where we're at right now. Clear as day. Let me know what you think in the comments section. What would you do? How would you modify things? What subclass specifically would you like to see up on the top? I'd love to see your feedback there. Thank you for watching the video. Please be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible. Bye-bye.